Hello student, how are you? I think you all are fine. This is Lavan Sharkar. Welcome to my today's class. Today I am going to conduct a class on chapter 2, and the name of the chapter is the Independent Bangladesh. And I have already conducted 3 classes on this chapter. So this is the last class from this chapter. So before the start of my class, I would like to show our today's learning outcome. So dear students, after the class, you will be able to describe the leadership of Bangabandhu to make Bangladesh independent. Then you will be able to describe the role of the 4 national leaders in the liberation war of Bangladesh. Okay, let's get started of our today's class. So dear students, before the start of the main part of our today's class, I would like to talk something to you, and this will help you to understand our today's class smoothly. First of all, leadership. So what is called leadership? Basically, leadership is the art of motivating a group of people to achieve a common goal. So this is the perfect definitions of leadership. So leadership is the art of motivating a group of people to gain a specific goal or common goal. So this is highly authentic and perfect definition of leadership. Now I will talk something about who is called leader. Okay, so basically leader is the person who can motivate a group of people, or who can motivate uh, his subordinates or followers to achieve a common goal. Okay, so leaders are the person who can motivate his followers to achieve a common goal. So last on is very important, and that is charismatic leadership. Okay, and you know, our great leader, our father of nation, Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, was a charismatic leader. Okay, so what is called the charismatic leadership? Okay. So charismatic leadership is such a leadership where a leader can influence, or can motivate, or can attract his followers or audience to achieve a vision by his speaking styles, or his gesture, or by his posture. Okay, or by his confidence, uh, and other qualities. So this is called the charismatic leadership. Now I am going to show you the definitions of charismatic leadership to you. So charismatic leadership is such a leadership where a leader can influence, or can attract the audience or the followers to touch a vision by his speaking style, body language, gesture, posture, confidence, and other qualities. So we have already learned what is called leadership, what is called who is called leader, and what is called the charismatic leadership. So dear students, now I am going to discuss about the leadership of Bangabandhu according to your textbook. Okay, and all of these points I have taken from your textbook. Okay, first of all, established the Satra League in 1948. Okay, so that time Bangabandhu was a young leader, and he established the East Pakistan Muslim Satra League on 4th January 1948 to protest the anti-people's activities of the Muslim League. Okay, so and this was the first step to lead East Pakistan. Okay, by Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman. Then had a great role to establish the Awami League in 1949, and win a war on 23rd June 1949. The East Pakistan Muslim Awami League was formed. Okay, and Bangabandhu was the joint secretary of the East Pakistan Muslim Awami League, but that time he was in jail. Okay, but to form the East Pakistan Muslim Awami League, Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman had a great role. Okay, and here I want to share. I want to remember two information. The founder president of the East Pakistan Awami League was Maulana Hamid Khan Bashani, and the founder secretary of the East Pakistan Awami League was Samsul Haq, and both of them were from Tangail district. Okay. Next, role in language movement in 1948 to 1952. Okay, so Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, and he played a great role in our language movement, which occurred between 1948 to 1952. Okay, and he had to face jail several times to participate in language movement. Role to form the Juktapont in 1953. Okay, in my previous class, I have discussed about the joint front election. Okay, so the joint front election was occurred in 1954. So to defeat Muslim League, for opposition political parties of East Pakistan made a election time coalitions named the Joint Front or Juktapont. So to form the joint front, Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman had a great role. Okay. Next, prevailed the six-point demands movement in 1966. Oh, this is one of the vital steps of Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman in his political career. Okay, and he prevailed his historic six-point demand program in 1966 in Lahore in opposition political leaders conference. Okay, and after the six-point demand program, he became the only unacceptable political leader of East Pakistan. Next, led the mass uprising of 1969. Okay, so and we know all mass upsurge means all-out movement against running government. Okay, to quit to quit the government. Okay, so all-out movement was happened in 1969. 69 to for the resign of the autocratic president Ayub Khan, and in this movement, Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman played a great role. Okay, and by this movement, Ayub Khan had to resign of his office. Okay. Okay. Next, by his charismatic leadership, the Awami League got the landslide victory in the election of 1970. In 1970, for the first time in Pakistan, the general election and the provincial election were held, and both types of elections, the East Pakistan Awami League got the landslide victory, and it was very common. The East Pakistan Awami League will form the government in Central and the East Pakistan province. Okay, and it was happened due to the charismatic leadership, due to the personality of Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman. Okay, then gave his great speech on 7th March 1970 on. Okay, so after the win of the election, it was common that East Pakistan Army League will form government in East Pakistan province. Okay, but the West Pakistani rulers did not want to hand over the power to our great leader Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman. So he had to give a historic speech on 7th March in 1971 at Racecourse Field. Okay, and today his speech was highly recognized internationally. Next, he was put in prison as a political detainee for long 12 years out of 24 years of Pakistan regime. Okay, so we had to under the Pakistani rulers 24 years, and within this 24 years, Bangabandhu had to stay in jail 12 years. So it was a great sacrifice for him. Next, on 25 March at 12:30 p.m., he declared the independence of Bangladesh. Okay, So on 25 March, the Pakistani rulers started Operation Searchlight, and they started to kill our innocent people, and they arrested our great leader Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, and they control all the administrative system of East Pakistan. Okay, so in these circumstances, basically before the arrest of Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, he declared the independence of Bangladesh at 12:30 p.m. Okay, on 25th March 1971. And he was the commander-in-chief of the Liberation War and the president of the Mujibnagar government. Okay, and we know all on 10th April 1971, a temporary government was formed. Uh, basically in India. Okay, and so it is called an exile government or temporary government or the first government of Bangladesh. And in this government, Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman was the president, and this government was named according to the name of Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman. That means Mujibnagar government. Okay, and he was the commander in chief of the Liberation War of Bangladesh. So when you write down about the leadership of Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, you will have to write down these informations in your answer script. And I have taken all of these data, all of these informations, all of these lines from your textbook. I think this slide will help you highly to write down the leadership of Bangabandhu. Okay, so dear students, now I am going to discuss about the role of the four national leaders in the liberation war of Bangladesh. At first, I want to see you a picture, and you have to say me who is the man. Okay, so the name of this man is Tajuddin Ahmed, and he was the president of Mujibnagar government. So now I am going to discuss about the role of Tajuddin Ahmed in the liberation war of Bangladesh. First of all, he was the general secretary of Awami League during the liberation war. During the liberation war, he was the general secretary. That means he was the second person of the East Pakistan Awami League. Okay, then he was the most loyal and close ally of Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman. That means he had a very good relationship with our great leader Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman. Then this great leader discharged his duty of the Prime Minister of Mujibnagar government, formed on 10 April 1971 to direct the war of liberation. Okay, so dear students, we know all on 10th April 1971, a temporary government was formed, and the name of this government was Mujibnagar government, and Tajuddin Ahmed was the Prime Minister of this government. Okay, at the same time he was the Defense Minister of the Mujibnagar government. Then he announced the formation of the Mujibnagar government through our radio on 11 April 1971. Dear student, here I want to share on information to you. The Mujibnagar government was formed in 10th April in 8 number Theatre Road in Kolkata. That is why this government is called an exile government or Probashi government. Okay. Number 5. He succeeded in directing the liberation war in absence of Bangabandhu. Okay, and number 6, he was the convener of the advisory committee formed to run the liberation war. In our liberation war, there was an advisory committee, and Tajuddin Ahmed was the convener of this committee. There are 9 members of this committee. Okay, five were from the Mujibnagar government, and four were from the other political parties. So who are the four political leaders from the other parties? Number 1, Maulana Hamid Khan Bashani. Number 2, Comrade Moni Singh. Number 3, Manoranjan Dhar. And number 4, Muzaffar Ahmad. Okay, so these were the four political leaders who were the members of the advisory committee of Mujibnagar government. So, dear students, now I am going to discuss about the next national leaders of our country. Okay, I think mm, him. Okay, and his name is Syed Nazrul Islam. Now I am going to discuss about the role of the Syed Nazrul Islam in the liberation war of Bangladesh. First of all, Syed Nazrul Islam was one of the top leaders of Awami League. Okay. Number two, he was the vice president of the Mujibnagar government too. Okay, and we know there are six members of the Mujibnagar government, and Syed Nazrul Islam was the vice president of the Mujibnagar government. He discharged the duty of the acting president in absence of Bangabandhu, and we know Bangabandhu was arrested on 25th March 25th March in 1971. So in absence of Bangabandhu, Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, Syed Nazrul Islam uh, had to act as uh, as the acting president of Mujibnagar government. He called on all to join the liberation force. So this is very easy line to understand. So dear students, I have taken all of these lines, all of these informations from your textbook, so you can follow this information when you will write down about Syed Nazrul Islam or Tajuddin Ahmad or M. Mansur Ali or H.M. Kamaruzzaman. So dear student, now I am going to discuss about this person, and his name is Captain M. Mansur Ali. He was born in Shirazganj. Okay, and the role of Captain Mansur Ali in the liberation of Bangladesh. Number one, he was one of the senior leaders of the Awami League and very close associate of Bangabandhu. Number two, he was the finance minister of the Mujibnagar government during the liberation war. Okay, so and he was one of the six members of the Mujibnagar government, and he had to perform as the finance minister of the Mujibnagar government. Collecting fund was a very important job for supplying food, clothes, and other essentials for the freedom fighters taking armed training. Okay, or continuing armed training. He had discharged these duties very successfully. Okay, so dear students, now I'm going to discuss about this person, and his name is A.H.M. Kamaruzzaman. He was born in Russia. Now I'm going to discuss about the role of A.H.M. Kamaruzzaman in the liberation war of Bangladesh. First of all, A.H.M. Kamaruzzaman was another top leader of Awami League. He was the Minister of Home Relief Rehabilitations during the Liberation War. Then he discharged his duties successfully by collecting relief for millions of refugees sheltered in India, distributing relief in the camps, and later rehabilitations the refugees, etc. And we know 1 crore people took shelter as a war refugee in our neighbor country India. Okay, so it was very difficult task to provide food, shelter, Medicare to 1 crore refugees. Okay, and this man played a great role to manage funds, to provide food, shelters, Medicare to 1 crore refugees. So dear students, that's all about the main part of our today's class. Now I am going to go the next part of our class, and this is evaluation part, and here I am going to ask some question to you, and you will try to give the answer of this question. First of all, who is called the charismatic leader? The father of nation of Bangladesh, Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, is called the charismatic leader, and we have already discussed about the charismatic leaders, the characteristics of the charismatic leader. Then, who was the vice president of the Mujibnagar government? Said Nazrul Islam was the vice president of Mujibnagar government. Then, on what time did Bangabandhu declare the independence of Bangladesh? Exactly at 12:30 p.m. on 25th March 1971, Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman declared the independence of Bangladesh. Number 4, who was the finance minister of the Mujibnagar government? Captain M. Mansur Ali was the finance minister of the Mujibnagar government. And number 5, who was the Secretary General of the Awami League during the liberation of Bangladesh? Okay. So Tajuddin Ahmed was the Secretary General of Awami League. That means that time its name was the East Pakistan Awami League during the liberation of Bangladesh. That means Tajuddin Ahmed was the Secretary General of the Awami League during the liberation of Bangladesh. That's all about our today's class, dear students. If you have any questions, you can ask me. You can put your questions in comment box, and after the class, I will give the answer of your questions. So, dear students, thank you very much for watching me with your kind patience. Next time, see you again. Till then, Allah Hafiz.